See, this is topics covered standard 10 NCERT mathematics. Here we start with the chapter 2 polynomials. Some important results relating polynomials are given here. Px equal to x plus 2. This is here degree of x is 1. Thus it is a polynomial in x of degree 1. Now consider py, polynomial in y. It is 2y square minus 3y plus 4. The highest power of y is 2. So this is a polynomial in y of degree this 2. Now consider the polynomial px equal to 5x cube 4 minus 4x square plus x minus root 2. The highest power of x is 3. So this is a polynomial of x of degree 3. And so on. So now we know polynomial of degree 1, degree 2 and degree 3. Now consider 1 by x minus 1. It is not a polynomial being a fraction. This is also not a polynomial. This is also not a polynomial. So these kind of expressions are not polynomials. Now a polynomial in degree 1 is called a linear polynomial. A polynomial in degree 2 is a quadratic polynomial, and that of degree 3 is a cubic polynomial. So, up to this we have polynomials of degree 1, 2, 3. They are called linear and quadratic and cubic polynomials. Now, the value of a polynomial px at x equal to k. For a real number k, the value obtained by replacing this x by k in the polynomial gives the value of px at x equal to k. See, given polynomial is represented as px. Replace this x by the corresponding value k. We get the value of px at x equal to k. That is pk. Now an important result here. If pk equal to 0, by substituting k instead of x, if the expression value is 0, then the real number is said to be a 0 of that polynomial. So how to find the 0 of a polynomial? To check the 0, check that whether the number given k is 0 of the polynomial, substitute x by k. So if the result is 0, value is 0, then that number is a 0. Now, general representation of a quadratic polynomial is how to represent a quadratic polynomial. Ax square bx plus c. Here degree of x is 2. Where this a, b, c are constants and real numbers is called a quadratic polynomial. What happens when this a is 0? When a is 0, this term is absent, so it becomes bx plus c. This is only a polynomial of degree 1. So, for this expression a square plus bx plus c must be a quadratic, this a not equal to 0. A quadratic polynomial can have at the most 2 zeros. And remember, a cubic polynomial can have at the most 3 zeros. Now, for the quadratic polynomial a square plus bx plus c, the sum of roots is always minus b by a. What is minus b by a? Minus of the coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. This is b, this is a. And product of roots equal to c by a, coefficient, constant term divided by coefficient of x square. So always you have to remember these results. Now, symbolically, if alpha, beta are the roots of a square plus bx plus c, then alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a and alpha beta equal to c by a. That is, sum 1 at a time equal to minus of coefficient of x by coefficient of x square, and sum 2 at a time, that is alpha beta equal to constant term divided by this one. Now, If alpha, beta, gamma are the three roots of the cubic polynomial ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, then alpha plus beta plus gamma equal to minus b by a, alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma equal to c by a, and alpha beta gamma equal to minus d by a. Sum one at a time equal to minus of b by a, x coefficient of x square by coefficient of x cube, that is alternate minus plus minus. Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma equal to sum 2 at a time, coefficient of x by coefficient of x cube, and that of alpha beta gamma 3 at a time, again minus d by a, minus plus minus. Sum of roots 1 at a time minus b by a, sum of roots 2 at a time c by a, and that at 3 at a time minus d by a. Now the zeros of a polynomial px are the x coordinates of the points where the graph of y equal to px intersects the x-axis. Suppose a graph is here. Suppose this graph intersects the x-axis at these 2 points. Then the x coordinate of these points, what is x coordinate here? Here the x coordinate. These are the roots or zeros of this polynomial. Now, to find the roots or zeros of a square plus bx plus c equal to 0, we have the formula minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac by 2a.